Hello, and thank you for tuning in to get a more detailed view of how my 8th grade science class is structured. Before we begin, I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself. This is my 20th year teaching at VMS. During that time, I've taught predominantly science, a few years of reading. I've also advised the yearbook club and hosted numerous STEM speakers during the brown bag lunch sessions. Prior to VMS, I worked at Drexel, earning my master's degree, while launching a co-curricular leadership program. I earned my bachelor's degree from the College of Charleston in South Carolina in psychology, and I've also studied abroad. At home, I have a husband and 2 children who are both in middle school. So lucky me, I get adolescents day and night. I also have a deaf blue heeler that we adopted during the pandemic named Banjo. I'd like to give you a quick look at what your student is seeing in Google Classroom from me during a typical week. As we acclimate to school in the fall, in my class, each week we will follow the same format. A daily grind newsletter, a question of the day each day, an INB, and an end of the week quiz. We'll do the same exact things every week, all worked on over the course of the week, both together and independently. The INB is honestly where everything happens. It has all of the students' notes, practice, resources, all in one place. Since the INB is for an entire week, a student can see what is being asked of them and where we're going to be heading over the course of the week. That can be helpful for time planning. It takes about 40 to 60 minutes in total to complete the INB, and it counts as a quiz grade. It's turned in every Friday. The question of the day is a daily classwork grade. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes and is based on whatever we're studying for the week. Sometimes it's just even a fun question to make it easy and light. The end of the week check-in quiz is based on the work that we did during the week and is open note. Students can use their INB and all their questions of the day to answer the questions for the week. Once we're used to our school day in October, we will also begin our Word of the Day study. We're going to start to also work on lab reports and end of unit projects. This is the daily grind. It basically says what we will do each day. It is subject to change as the needs of the class and time dictate. I'll also send it to you at the beginning of every week. This year, students will begin the year by studying methods used by scientists to objectively gather information. They'll be able to identify variables, controls, identify and develop hypotheses, and defend a claim with evidence. Students will analyze real data collected by scientists, draw conclusions, and support them with this evidence. This unit of study is the foundation of all scientific work and thus will be ongoing throughout the year. Once we understand how science is done, we'll move on to our life science unit, exploring how genetics lead to adaptations and how those adaptations help species survive and develop over time. This will lead us to our exploration of geologic time and earth science. What has come before us on the planet? And we'll also look at how we know what happened when going back billions of years. We will finish with the most exciting unit yet, comparative anatomy. We're going to compare the systems of humans to birds and finish with an actual dissection of a pigeon. This is a fun and flexible activity. It's been loved by graduating classes for decades, and it's not required. So if your student doesn't want to dissect, they absolutely don't have to. The materials employed are varied. There's a textbook for reference and basic information. We have interactive activities online and in the classroom, current science news via Science World, in-class investigations and activities. We watch videos via Nova, YouTube, and HHMI. And finally, we analyze data with Data Nuggets and the New York Times. The Word of the Day study encourages students to review and preview a variety of science words. In this way, students are reminded of important concepts as well as relationships between words through etymology, illustrations, connections, prefixes, suffixes, synonyms, and antonyms. Grades. Usually, I place a good deal of responsibility on the student, and I still will. However, we're in trying times, so I will also work to remind them frequently of their responsibilities. The work we are doing is challenging. However, any student that makes their best effort will do well in my class. I prefer flexibility. I am flexible, and I would rather see effort and growth over perfection. This doesn't mean every student's going to earn an A, but it does mean that I am willing to work with your student to keep them moving forward. Here we have a few pieces of information about homework, classwork, and also about extra help. I'm willing to offer extra help to students as needed. We just have to work out a time, and we find a way to do that. Also, here are some contact information, and one of the things I think is most important, self-advocacy. It's really important as the students move forward that they learn to advocate for themselves. I am also more than willing to communicate with you, but I encourage you to encourage them to email me when they need to speak to me about a grade that's missing or miscalculated or whatever they need. It's best if I speak to them first, and then I can speak with you if we don't work things out appropriately. I am easy to reach via email. Students can private message me also through Classroom. And I hold Google Meets outside of class time for students that need extra help, as I already said. I'm always available to help you or your student with specific concerns and answer your questions. Lastly, remember, the road to success starts with just showing up, trying, and asking for help. Together, we can have a really successful school year, and I'm super excited to make it happen. Thank you for your time. Have a great afternoon.